Just perfect. Yes.
What the hell are you doing?
Oh, hi, Rob. I'm just preparing G2014 for recording today. Yes.
We're not doing that today. I'm recording Revoltech Daimajin.
But you said you were going to talk about a beautifully painted, detailed, and articulated figure, so I just assumed we were going to be doing Shamathon 4.
No, I'm talking about this guy. So, go away.
But Rob, the fans want Shamathon 4 already.
Honestly, man, not a single person has asked for it. I'll do it when I'm ready. Plus, I need to mentally prepare myself for dealing with you for 2 days straight.
Well, I never. Fine. Record your video about your dumb statue.
Daimajin on.
ShinRobjira.
Today we're going to be talking about the Kaiyodo and Revoltech Sci-Fi Series number 2, Daimajin. Released in 2010, Daimajin was one of the many subline releases from Revoltech. As sculpted by Takuma Katsuo, this figure is a representation of Daimajin 1, or Arakatsuma, and easily one of the very best Daimajin figures ever created. And know why I'm not overhyping this figure. This guy really does pack a wallop. But first, let's take a look at paint and detail. An absolute figment of all that is amazing, Revoltech Daimajin honestly brings the spirit of Daimajin to life in this semi-micro figure. And yes, this little guy right here and this dude from last time are the same Daimajin. They are both Daimajin 1, or Arakatsuma. This is just more of like a hyper-realized version of Daimajin. This is very much more the screen-accurate Daimajin figure. And with that being said, just look at this guy. From head to toe, beautiful detail, beautiful paint, and I do mean beautiful. I love that the base color of this figure is a dark chocolatey brown, but peppered on him in many different areas is going to be this coppery, lighter brown that really brings forth a rustic look. And the best part is, it's just about everywhere. Some areas you have to look a little harder than others, but this paint job, coupled with the amazing details brought forth by Takuma Katsuo, is just amazing. Forget being carved out of stone, this guy looks like he was carved out of rusted metal. And I genuinely really love that you can see some of that coppery brown even on the more fabric-looking parts of Daimajin. Like, this is honestly magnificent looking. Holy friggin' moly, dude. From the Daimajin feet, to shins, to knees, to his little skirt, to the Daimajin blade, to the Daimajin demon-faced belt buckle, this guy is both amazingly painted and amazingly intimidating. And even though the pupils aren't exactly perfect in terms of size, this one over here is a little bit bigger than this one, I really do like what they did with the face. While I would have loved to see some heavy shading like we got with the Daimajin 2 figure from Xebec Toys and Kaiyodo, this is just as magnificent. And I guess now I can show off some of the little details and some of that rustic looking paint on Daimajin's helmet over here. Just look at that, man. This was so beautifully done. It's even on the inside portions of the helmet over here. Seriously, this figure's amazing. I feel like you can see more of the coppery and rusted looking paint job on his bicep over here. Wow. Just, it's done so subtly. Like, that is just awesome. It's a simple thing, but it looks so good. Honestly, the only way this thing could have looked even better than it already does is if they painted the little Revoltech joints the same way they did with the armor and the fabrics. But they didn't, and that's just fine because we have Daimajin's skin tone color perfectly matching his face on this arm and on this arm as well. I mean, just look at the Daimajin blade and its scabbard. There's such a light peppering of that copper tone on there, and it just seems so perfect. And yes, no need for worrying of rusted and destroyed chains out of the box, as the chains on this Daimajin figure are perfectly molded into the skirt and painted rather lovingly. You can even see the little rivets in his collar over here. It looks so good. Yeah, I think it's an easy bet that Rob is absolutely in love with this figure. I mean, in all honesty, can you really blame me? Now, I know normally I like to go all off when it comes to paint and detail, but that's essentially all the paint and detail you're going to be getting with this guy. That's why I tried doing the swoopy motion so you can get an eyeful of it all at once. But anyway, the paint and detail are going to get 2 solid stars from me. I genuinely couldn't ask for more, and I really wish Revoltech did a Daimajin 2 and 3 in this format. That would have been perfect. Although there is a monochrome version of this guy, but I'm not going to try hunting that down. Anyway, moving on to articulation, because there's quite a lot of it. Daimajin Junya over here might be carved out of stone, but he's got quite the resume in terms of articulation. Head can look up about that far and down about that far. The head can also go from side to side. It can go all the way around as well. There will be articulation in Daimajin's shoulder pauldrons over here because there is a joint over here that will allow you to move them up and down and all around. So when you are moving Daimajin's arms, these can get out of the way as much as they possibly can. I do enjoy that quite a lot. The arms can move about this far up, but if you take this little doohickey off, it can go one click further. And of course, it can go back down, and it can go all the way around like so. Good movement, and I love that clicky joint noise. Oh, that's good. You're going to get a lovely bend in at the elbow and a lovely bend out, and that looks painful. You're going to get a swivel at the wrist, and you can bend in that far and out that far, and as per usual with joints like these, you can turn them in any which way and then just reapply the hand or whatever the heck is supposed to be there so it can move in any other way to your heart's content. Daimajin can bend back about this far and really not so much forward, and I don't know if it's like this on just mine or many people's, but only the bottom portion of this joint moves. It looks like somebody either glued this in place up here or shot a loogie at it, but yeah, this portion doesn't move, so if anybody owns this figure, please let me know if it's like that on yours. Easy fix. Daimajin's little Daimajin blade over here is on the same kind of joint that the shoulder pauldrons are. And all you have to do is, and there it is. And that does allow for the sword to be posed in, very limited ways, but this is all you're really going to need out of the sword while it's sheathed as so. And now we move on to the legs, which are going to be covered up by a very light rubbery skirt over here. And I'm sorry there, Derek, but uh-oh, didn't mean to do that. There we go. And when you get the figure out of the packaging or out of the shipping box or whatever, the Revoltech joints for the legs are likely going to be like this. So that would allow for a kick up and a kick back. But as I stated before, Daimajin's got a skirt over here. And moving the legs forward really isn't all that great. In fact, I'll just show you. Alright, so this is about as far forward as you're going to get with this figure. Honestly, not very impressive, but remember, this guy's technically a stone statue that was reanimated by the power of a demon lord, so his mobility wasn't the greatest in the movies either. And not gonna lie, this is honestly pretty accurate. Now let's try moving one leg back. There you go. Okay, so we got a decent little walking cycle for Daimajin. But this is how I like to do it personally. I like to turn those Revoltech joints to the side so we can give Daimajin a nice split and honestly a nicer looking pose. Yeah, this honestly just feels a lot better and a lot more natural for Daimajin. Not only does it just look better and natural, it's actually shown at the back of the box that you could and maybe should just do that. Although in this picture over here, it kind of looks like his legs are curving at the knees, not so much at the thighs. Anyway, you will get a lovely bend at the knee like so, and you will be able to point out at the toe like so. There's even offerings of a rather nice pivot over here as well. Posability and articulation is absolutely going to nab a solid star from me. So as of right now, that's 3 solid stars for Revoltech Daimajin. How can it possibly get any better? Hell. Daimajin comes with a buttload of accessories, and by a buttload, I mean all of this. Really don't know what I would be doing with a plastic 10 Revoltech coin, but yeah, that came with it. If you've never bought a Revoltech figure before, you often get these translucent little boxes to put all of your accessories in case you don't want to keep them in the box. But in this case, I normally do keep them in the box because Samanosuke over here cannot fit in the box. You also get this lovely little nameplate, and you get a stand. Now yes, this stand does come with a nice little peg, and he do got the peg holes on the feet over here. These two can combine their strengths. And you can have Daimajin on the stand like so with a little bit added support. But what I like to do instead is this. This has a peg hole at the bottom of it, and I just like to put that on there, which is what it's intended to do. And it says Daimajin 1966. And I just have Daimajin stand on the stand like so with his little nameplate, because genuinely it just feels like it completes him. Oh, and I do believe I forgot to mention that the stake in Daimajin's head is indeed removable. You can leave it out for a post-movie look, or you can leave it in for when, well, it's in his head for the majority of the movie. So, yeah. It's really up to you. Now, when it comes to replacing Daimajin's hands, it's honestly pretty self-explanatory. You just yank, and yeah, that will happen ever so often. Plug the little joint into the back of the hand. Wow, my fingers look like strawberries. And then you just push it back into Daimajin's forearm, and now he's got a holding hand. What is the holding hand for? The Daimajin blade! Look at the lovely paint and detail work on this one. Wowzers. But yeah, you can plug it into his hand like so. And now you might be asking, how is he holding his sword and it's still sheathed over here? Revoltech had us covered. Just lift this arm up, say the hokey pokey 5 times fast, and then pull. Yes, indeedy, the scabbard with the hilt over here is indeed removable, and can in fact be replaced by a scabbard without a sword in it, though it is just a solid piece. It plugs in, just like the other one does, and whammo, you've got a Daimajin rockin' the blade. Now, I don't think I really need to explain how to get the rest of the hands on, though, but let's show off the hand-holding Samanosuke, the villain of the first Daimajin film. Honestly, it looks so good, I'm not even bummed that he and the hand are one singular piece, because just look at that lovely paint and attention to detail. He and the Zebic toys are definitely rocking 2 different fits, but the paint and attention to detail is just magnificent. Seriously, that's just such a cool little thing to do. Now, there is indeed one more accessory that I have to show off, and thank God it was included and implemented in such a way where I don't need to have a heart attack every time I want to apply it, because I do mess with this figure quite a lot. So as you saw earlier, Daimajin came with a stone face. Now, all we have to do this time around to get the stone face working with Daimajin is simply decapitate him. Wow, that's kind of spooky. And then you're going to turn the head on its side and pull. Look at how much easier that is as compared to the other ones. And just look at that paint and detail. Oh. And honestly, applying the face is just as easy as taking it off because you're already done. And then you just stick it back onto his little jointed head over here, and bing bang boom, Ronnie, you're done. He's got the stone face on and he looks perfect. Why does he look perfect? Because the stone face actually matches the rest of the paint of the armor, and I genuinely just love it. Honestly, the only way this little figure set could have been any more perfect is if they included hands that matched the rest of the armor, so he looked like an actual stone statue stuck in the side of a mountain with absolutely no green on him at all. But for the most part, I cannot help but sing this lovely lad's praise and give him yet another solid star in terms of the accessories. Beautifully painted, beautifully detailed, very inclusive on what makes Daimajin Daimajin. And would you believe I'm still not done talking about this thing yet? Well, technically I am. I'm actually just talking about the box now. I promise to be as quick as I possibly can with this, but just look at this box. This is such a cool box. He's perfectly lit from the top and he looks all mean and mysterious. And we've got the Sci-Fi Revoltech powered by Revoltech stuff going on over here. Sci-Fi Revoltech Series number 2 as sculpted by Takuma Katsuo, produced and manufactured by Kaiyodo. And you know, we got some stuff on the side over here telling us all about the Revoltech joints. We've got some more stuff over here. We've got a whole bunch of stuff on the back over meow. But the real magic comes from the Velcro tab over here that you can pull out and reveal absolutely everything that comes boxed within this box. You even get a nice little lovely read-up on Daimajin over here with screenshots from the movie. But you get a nice open window over here. Everything in there fits aside from the sword that's trying to make a great escape over there. This box is just so cool that once I get more shelving units, I am 100% going to be displaying this figure with this box, probably a lot like this, because the two just fit so perfectly together. Size comparison time, small, medium, large, and some related bits. Smaller in size, but still stacked in every division possible. From the accessories to his posability, Daimajin impresses effortlessly. And for a measly $20 to $25 at the time of release, it was hard to deny that this was an absolute steal-like deal. And I guess this just poses the question as to when SH Monster Arts are going to be doing Daimajin. Honestly, I'm going to have to give it another solid star for the friggin' box, because this in and of itself is just part of the collection, and it looks great. 5 solid stars for Kaiyodo and Revoltech Sci-Fi Series number 2, Daimajin. If you can find it, I surely say pick it up. I got my copy off of Mandarake for a pretty dang decent price considering what these could go for. They really don't go for too much, but enough. And for the time being, this closes the door on my little Daimajin duology series. There's quite a lot of Daimajin figures out there. It's just a matter of really what you want. There's X+, there's Marmot, there's plush toys. There's a little bit of everything for Daimajin out there, except Bandai Movie Monster Series figures. Katakawa, Bandai, come on. Let's do it! But anyway, that's about going to wrap it up on my end over here. I love this figure. I love Daimajin. I would love to see a resurrection of the Daimajin Revoltech line and just see more figures from Revoltech again. Big Gamera, big Godzilla. I mean, oh god, that was another thing I had to talk about. Uh-oh. Yeah, not only did this thing come with all of its accessories, it even came with all of the friggin' pamphlets that the original release came with. I mean, like, literally everything. I wasn't expecting any of this, but it even came with the friggin' sticker sheet. Baragon and Jack Skellington and that guy and this person and some Godzilla and Gamera and Daimajin. And this is probably my favorite thing to look at out of the bunch because it shows you all the things that Revoltech were up to at the time. Holy God, would you look at those titties? Dude, just look at this friggin' lineup, man. So much. It unfolds even further to the inside over here. Revoltech was putting out a lot of products at the time. Just look at that. And I do mean a lot of products, but let's close this up so I don't get demonetized. And let's take a look at the rest of this stuff just fairly quickly and then we'll end it off. But yeah, man, they were doing a lot, and all of this is... Oh, man, Big Chat came with the face hugger, too? Might have to pick that up. A lot of cool stuff, and again, I really wasn't expecting all of this to even be in there, but here we are, taking a look at it, and it's honestly really cool. For somebody simple like myself who is easily pleased, this was really, really cool. And this shows what looks like all of the box art for these lads. I don't understand how Buzz and Woody from Toy Story, like, kind of convert on over into a sci-fi, but Jason Voorhees, aliens from Aliens, the Queen Alien, Anguinus, the Predator, Gigan, Rodan. Yeah, this Sci-Fi series was pretty magnificent, dude. Like, look at all of that. Like, how can you not be just totally impressed by this? Ah, dear God, there it is. The meme! As a sucker for little bonus features, if you can even call it this, I love this kind of stuff. I really do, and I'm so glad this came with the box. And they even did Jack Sparrow! Ooh, that Gigan might be a must. Okay, now that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all on Friday for another Bandai Movie Monster Series video. And thank you all so much for watching to this point in the video. I love you all, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.